Hello, and thanks for joining me. My name is Miles. I'm going to be talking to you about the Easy Jumper here today. This is a handheld jump shot tool designed to be used with the dart stroke. This thing was designed by Don Crump, I believe in the 90s. A demonstrational video on it was put out in 2009 by him, which I'm also going to include in the description if you'd like to see that as well. Going to go over a couple things here today, like which cue to use, why this thing was invented, and whether it's legal or not. So to answer the first question, yes, it is legal. It is BCA approved, so long as your palm is on the table. It cannot be lifted up at all. It has to be down here in order for the tool to be legal in the BCA. Okay? This thing was invented to make the jump shot equally accessible from one player to the next. So for somebody that's not quite as tall as me, I'm 6'4", they may not be able to make a bridge quite as tall, which can make the jump shot a little bit harder to access and make for a good jump shot. To show you what I'm talking about here, I've got a tape measure. I'm going to measure my hand. Got 8 inches there from the tip of my middle finger to the base of my hand. Okay? If I make the tallest bridge that I can, right here, we're looking at about a 5-inch bridge, give or take. Pretty tall. Okay? With the Easy Jumper here, on the shorter side, you're looking at 5 inches. On the tall side, you're looking at about 5.5. Okay, so easy to get to that height, even a little bit higher than my actual bridge, which feels great, to be honest with you. Okay, this thing also, by the way, is very durable. The Easy Jumper itself is a grand total of 6 inches, and it is very strong. See, doesn't have a lot of flex to it. Very tough. Okay. So, might be asking yourself which cue to use. I got a few laid out here, and a little precursor to which cue to use here. I'm not going to go over what brands these are. We're just going over a couple traits of each of the cues and the reason why you may not want one or another. So cue number 1 here, thing to notice about this cue is that the ferrule on it and the tip is not flush with the shaft here, okay? So if you're using the Easy Jumper, this could create a problem. If you're pulling the cue back, it can get caught right there. So it can limit the amount of range you have pulling the cue back. I don't like that very much. Next one here. This is the front end of a break jump cue. Very common to see out in league or in tournament. Not a bad choice. Will definitely work with the Easy Jumper. One thing to consider about this here is that it is totally straight. And there's not a lot of weight to it because it came off the front end of a jump cue, break jump cue. There's not a lot to it here, so it feels pretty decent, but just feels like there could be a little bit more weight possibly. Now, third cue, this one here, 12 inches in length. It's got 2 notches here in the grip. These notches, which were not on the first 2 cues, can help tremendously with the dart stroke. And the reason for that being is because when you grab this cue and you're pulling back on it, there's a ridge for you to pull the cue up. And on top of that, when you're going downwards, there's another ridge here to go down. So it makes it easier to pull the cue back and to push the cue forward with less grip strength because you have a notch there aiding your grip. Okay? Stay tuned for more. We'll talk about how to use it, grip, keep an eye out. Thank you.